Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to Jurassic Park. Happy birthday to you.
Dr. Grant, my dear Dr. Sattler, welcome to Jurassic Park.
The re-review.
They're moving in herds. They do move in herds. How'd you do this? I'll show you.
Yes, Jurassic Park is 25 years old. What a film. What a game changer as well. And in this video, I'll be explaining why. I must warn you, if you haven't seen Jurassic Park, please be advised there will be plenty of spoilers in this video. So first of all, what's it about? Well, on a remote island, a wealthy entrepreneur secretly creates a theme park featuring living dinosaurs drawn from prehistoric DNA. Pre-launch, he invites 3 experts and his 2 eager grandchildren to experience the park. Huge dinosaurs, a small island, what could possibly go wrong?
It's a dinosaur.
There's no doubt our attractions will drive kids out of their minds.
Grandpa!
We're gonna make a fortune with this place.
We're going to open next year, that is if the lawyers don't kill me first.
What species is this?
It's a velociraptor.
For a little while now, I've wanted to do a Jurassic Park review, not just because of the 25-year anniversary, not because of the release of Jurassic Park Fallen Kingdom, but because I love the film. And I just really want to talk about it with you guys. Here's one of the reasons why I love the film so much. Before the age of 12, I'd actually only seen 2 films at the cinema because it was something we couldn't afford to do regularly. One of the films was Jurassic Park, and the other, if you're interested, was Hook. And I've just realised they're both Spielberg films. Interesting. So sat there waiting to watch Jurassic Park. I remember just that really giddy feeling. I mean, first of all, it was a luxury being there. Like I said, it wasn't something I did often. But then the film started. The film was amazing. It just blew me away. I remember my jaw dropping throughout pretty much the entire film. It was just an amazing experience. This is going to sound crazy, but the day I saw Jurassic Park, it changed my life. Not spiritually, but in the way I would spend my days. For example, I got myself to the library, and after watching this film, I just wanted to know everything about dinosaurs. So I'm looking at all these dinosaur books. It was the first film that really made me passionate about a subject. I wanted to know what these dinosaurs were called, what they looked like, what they did. I was absolutely fascinated. And I remember as well having some little model dinosaurs that I'd got from the boot sale, and I would just create these little stories, and I've just realised that I am painting myself out to be a right nerd, but whatever, no regrets. So who's in the film? I'm not going to mention everyone, just some of the key cast. For example, there's Sam Neill. He joined the team just 1 month before shooting after both Harrison Ford and William Hurt turned down the parts. Then there's Laura Dern. Now, she was always the first choice for Sattler, and I have to say, one of the best jump scenes happens to feature her.
Mr. Hammond, I think we're back in business.
Then there's the kids, both of them who acted brilliantly. There was Joseph Marzello, who impressed Spielberg when auditioning for Hook, but apparently he was too young for that particular role. Also, there's Ariana Richards. She was given the role of Lex after her audition tape sees her screaming, causing Spielberg's wife to run into the room to make sure everything was okay. So she was obviously convincing. And the film also stars Jeff Goldblum's chest. Finally, I love the fact that Richard Attenborough was cast as John Hammond, because him and Spielberg, there's a bit of history there. There was an Oscars battle 10 years prior to Jurassic Park, and unfortunately E.T., it lost out to Gandhi, but obviously no hard feelings because they're in the same film 10 years later. And speaking of Oscars, in March 1994, Jurassic Park won all 3 Academy Awards for which it was nominated. That was Best Sound Editing, Best Sound Mixing, and Best Visual Effects. And interesting fact as well, did you know Spielberg actually made Jurassic Park at the same time as Schindler's List, which of course won Best Picture at the Oscars? Bravo, Spielberg! Bravo! And regarding making both films at the same time, the story goes that Spielberg was set to finally film his passion project, Schindler's List, right after he made Hook in 1991. However, the head of Universal wouldn't greenlight the Holocaust drama unless the director signed on for the summer dino blockbuster. So Spielberg took on the challenge and made 2 incredible films, both released in the same year. After releasing these 2 films, Spielberg, he could have retired right there, right then, and he would still be looked at as the legendary filmmaker he is today. And back to the Oscars. The team behind the visual effects could not have been more worthy winners. The technology for Jurassic Park was way ahead of its time. During the filmmaking process, dinosaur supervisor Phil Tippett who mostly dealt with traditional stop-motion animation, he checked out some of the first footage of a CGI T-Rex. Spielberg turned to Tippett and joked, "You're out of a job," to which Tippett replied, "Don't you mean extinct?" The technology was so good that even watching it today, it's hard to know what was CGI and what was robotics. And the technology as well, it inspired filmmakers at that time to work on a whole bunch of projects that they'd been holding off on. Peter Jackson, for example, he began work on Lord of the Rings, all thanks to Jurassic Park, and George Lucas made his CG-heavy Star Wars prequels. Which, okay, probably wasn't a good thing. But anyway, the technology, the CGI, I think this plays a big part in the T-Rex escape scene being the best action sequence in film history. Yes! A bold statement, huh? When you think of great action sequences, you probably think films like Marvel, the DC universe, but you know, they're all about the spectacle. Now, the T-Rex escape scene is all about getting under our skin. It's about the horror, the action, the tension. It slowly builds up, and it is masterfully choreographed as well. I remember watching this scene for the first time on the big screen, with effects I had never seen in my life. It just looked so real. I was literally on the edge of my seat the entire time. And it perhaps worked so well as well because the stakes were so high. Spielberg, he did a fantastic job in making us care for the characters, and therefore we cared for their safety as well. There, of course, wouldn't be a Jurassic Park if it wasn't for the writer Michael Crichton. Now, he was given $1.5 million for the rights to Jurassic Park and a further $500,000 to write the screenplay. Not bad money. Of course, not all of Crichton's novel made it into the first film. That's not to say that his scenes became extinct. Sorry, I couldn't help myself. Now, the opening of his novel inspired the start of the sequel, The Lost World. Also, a scene involving Grant and the kids escaping from a T-Rex on a raft that evolved into the Jurassic Park ride. I'm glad that most of his work was used in one way or another. But moving on, Jurassic Park probably shouldn't be as good as it was. Just a couple of examples. There was extreme weather conditions, which meant production had to be moved elsewhere. That would have messed things up quite a lot. As well, the actors, they must have looked and felt ridiculous because most of the dinosaurs were added in post-production. That meant they were acting to tennis balls, to pictures of dinosaurs, and yet they still did a fantastic job portraying that genuine fear. And to add to the ridiculousness as well, Spielberg was even making the dinosaur sounds, which is quite funny to imagine. But anyway, it shouldn't have been as good as it was. Another example as well, Spielberg was emotionally stressed, and understandably so, considering he was making Schindler's List at the same time, and yet he did a brilliant job with Jurassic Park. He really did. In fact, I give it 5 out of 5 T-Rexes. Does Jurassic Park hold a place in your heart? Maybe, controversially, you think it's overrated? Let me know in the comments below. If you would like to see more videos like this, please subscribe, and as always, thank you for watching. Bye bye.